Good morning and welcome to the morning show with Angel and Tina and our fabulous guests in the studio today. Tina, how are you doing?
What is that noise?
They're now mowing the lawn right behind me. I'm going to mute.
You got to love living in a retirement home when they mow the lawn at 8 o'clock in the morning. Oh, no, it's 11 o'clock there. And she's like, this is just my luck. Well, we are back. The Angel and Tina Morning Show is back. We took a week off. Look, Angel's cracking up. We took a week off because of the holidays, and we are so glad to be back. But we tried to go yesterday, and for some reason, Zoom and Facebook don't like each other after the holidays. I guess they didn't give each other Christmas gift, so they didn't they didn't want to let us on. So we are back. So welcome back to the Angel and Tina Morning Show. We have an exciting show for you today, but tomorrow is the day that you guys all have been waiting for, the 200th episode of the Angel and Tina Morning Show, and my birthday. I'm getting all my background all done. I got to get some balloons up in here. Tomorrow's my birthday and the official launch of my Beyond Gratitude book, Strategies to Attract, Connect, and Convert More Prospects. So I'm so excited. That is available tomorrow, not today, tomorrow. Angel, can you unmute now?
I know.
I want to welcome our guest in the studio today.
Thank you for carrying the reins. But yes, on the other side of this wall, right? Well, it doesn't look like it because of my virtual backdrop, but you know, we live in a patio community, or we're staying in a patio community, and they were mowing or blowing, I don't know, like right here against this wall, or right as
like really,
of course, right as we go live. So thanks for carrying the reins. We do have some fabulous guests to introduce you to this morning, ladies. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. How are you doing, Carol?
I am excellent. It's gorgeous here in sunny South Florida and getting ready for a new year.
So Carol, you're in Florida too. Angel's in Florida too.
Yes.
Yeah,
but I think you guys are a little bit far from each other.
I know.
I'm in Weston, which is outside of downtown Fort Lauderdale.
Okay. Yeah. Florida's big space. In fact, yes. As soon as we turn this off, I am hightailing it out of here because I have an event in Tampa and it's an hour and 13 minutes from here. Like, and that's like door to door. Hopefully I don't hit any traffic. And I had lunch with somebody a couple weeks ago and it was an hour and a half. Like, this is like, really
I'm gonna go have lunch real quick. And she comes back like 5 hours later, like zooming into the driveway, and she was like, I didn't know it was gonna take so long.
I did not expect that. Well, Carol, I'm super excited. We are getting ready to buy a home in Orlando. So how far away will we be from each other then?
About 3.5 hours.
Jeez, that's a lot.
Okay.
On the turnpike with no traffic.
Okay, Limo and Gaia
said with no traffic. So with traffic, it's like 6 hours.
No, it's not that bad.
I'm from Atlanta. So, anywhere in Atlanta, it takes you 3 hours to go unless you find that perfect time to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Denise Walsh, welcome to the Angel and Tina Morning Show.
Hello. Good morning, you guys.
Denise, where are you coming from?
I'm in Michigan. So
it's cold.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's cold. We haven't really gotten a ton of snow yet, but we're brewing for it.
Oh, really? So I think Minnesota got like 8 feet of snow.
Just in New York.
Nada.
Oh, everybody is getting hit. I'm like, I just wanted to snow a little bit here in North Carolina. Like, that was what I wanted for my birthday, is just a couple inches just to blanket the thing, because it's so pretty. I love snow, but as long as I don't have to drive in it and my family's not in it. If everybody's home and we have food, then I'm good. But it has to have all of those prerequisites to snow.
Okay, so Tina has put in her order, her birthday
I put in my order. 4 or 5 inches of snow, leave in 2 to 3 days, can't stay after that.
All right, all right. We'll see if we can send some of that your way. Well, this is an exciting week. Only a couple days left in the year. Carol, what have you been like? If you were to say what successes you had, in the last 4, 6, 7, 9 months, what is it that's kept you occupied?
Wait, 4, 6, 7, 9?
I don't know. I don't know.
Or 10, it don't matter.
10 months, Angel.
I know, I forget. I'm like trying to do, how long's it been? Wait, how long? Wait, I just saw this morning that it's been 3 months since I updated my blog. And Tina's like, well, that's when you started your move. And I'm like, yeah, I've been a little preoccupied. So timing has just been funky for me. So I apologize. But Carol,
Angel, everybody's loving your new background.
oh, thank you. We had to change it up a little bit. Tina and I were doing some recording for the new intros and outros, the new videos and promotion for the Angel and Ina Morning Show. So
We thought it was only going to take like 5 minutes, and it probably took us like an hour because we kept laughing so hard. Our poor video guy, we're like, just cut that piece out. We're like laughing and giggling, and we're like, he'll fix it. He's just going to sit there and laugh the whole time. He's slicing our video up.
like, I'm so glad I'm working with professionals here, right? So Carol,
Yes,
tell us
ma'am.
about us. Tell us about you.
Actually, the pandemic has been very, very good for me in the regard that I spent 27 years in corporate America in sales, and through a series of events, I ended up becoming a reluctant entrepreneur. But I'm the shake your hand, give you a hug girl. So I was building my business. I was probably doing 30, 40 networking events a month. And I loved it because I was face to face. I love people. Then all of a sudden COVID hit and I lost clients and there was no face to face. In the back of my mind, I knew all along I couldn't scale a big business doing face to face, but I just wasn't willing to get out of my comfort zone at that time. So it's funny, I've never even taken a selfie to this day. But on May 31st, there's an amazing Facebook group called Rise and Inspire Speakers. I've probably put 15 people in his group. I'd get y'all to go because he gives you great exposure. And 1 week out of every month, he has Inspiration Week, and each day has a theme. And if you're in the group, you just get to go sign up and you get to speak for free for 30 minutes. Well, let me tell you, my first Facebook Live ever was 30 minutes. I didn't even know there was a chat, right? I was used to teaching and training in corporate America. And so I was having a monologue. I didn't know you're supposed to have a dialogue with people that are watching. So I did my 30-minute Facebook Live and I talked to people just about the beauty of stepping up because 2 weeks later, I had a new client over in London from that Facebook Live.
Wow, your very first Facebook Live, first speak on an event, you got an international client.
I did.
Wow.
Okay, let's like take a moment.
That's press release worthy.
And celebrate that success because yeah, that's an achievement. That is a huge achievement. Kudos to you, Carol.
No kidding.
Thank you.
Carol, you have a lot of people on here watching you saying that you're rock star status.
Well, thank you, whoever's watching. I appreciate it.
Okay, so now what did that turn into for you?
It turned in, I learned to, I just spent time in a Suzanne Evans program. And she was the one that leaned into the camera one day and goes, Carol, it's not a monologue, it's a dialogue. And I see myself as very buttoned up, very corporate. And she's like, humor, Carol. And I'm like, well, people tell me I'm funny, but you can't ask me to be funny. So just learning how underneath her, I was in her, she had a program and there was only 51 of us that were allowed. And we got to do a 2-minute with a call to action. And as a part of this program, Susan Evans is also going to be on my page in the first quarter, which is, I think, really big exposure for me because she's been around a long time. She's very, very big.
Right.
So
aligning with an influencer, right? With a great audience. We call that OPA, other people's audiences. Brilliant.
And so when the hurricane hit here a few weeks ago, I was dog sitting at the same house. There was no internet. Everything was flooded. And that was the only day we had our practice session. So the lady who owns this house called her aunt who lives up the road, who came in a big truck, picked me up through the floodwaters and gave me her bedroom. And so they called my name to do my 2-minute. And Suzanne goes, oh, Carol Boston, if you don't nail this. And I thought, well, I don't need that kind of pressure, right? So I gave my 2-minute talk. And for me, this was high praise from Suzanne. And I've shared this with her. She leaned into the camera and she goes, God damn, you've improved in 5 weeks. And I thought, yes, I'm on my way.
Well, kudos to you. Kudos to you. Congratulations.
Not letting nothing stop you. It's not even a hurricane.
I know. It was kind of funny. One day she had 5 people on a panel that also sent us written feedback. And one gentleman, he was the only one on her coaching panel that I didn't know. The first thing he said was, I find that the backdrop of that bedroom very distracting. And I'm thinking, dude, you have no idea what I did just to show up here. Forget the bed and forget the backdrop, right? But no, it's been really, it's been powerful for me.
There was
our background shaming people.
There was a phase of time where everybody was criticizing backgrounds. It was like a thing. And I think we've gone past it, thankfully, but it seemed like for a while.
Even you and I were getting some.
Oh yeah. It was a thing for a while, like that, to criticize people's backdrops. They couldn't come up with anything else. So let's just attack that. But if that's all you've got, right, bring it on.
But they say that you have made it once you start getting haters.
Well, you have to have haters, right? Because otherwise you're not taking a stand for anything. You've got to have a line in the sand. I mean, look at Tony Robbins. He's got raving fans and he's got raving haters, but he knows that, and he doesn't try to change his haters. He focuses on his fans.
For himself.
So I think it gives you some clarity when you start having people who push back on you.
Yeah, I love that.
That is so exciting. All right. So how about you, my dear Denise? What have you been occupying yourself with the last?
I think our question should be, what haven't you been doing? Because this girl has been rocking it out all year long.
Oh my gosh, this year has thrown me for a loop in a lot of areas. I think the biggest shift was having my children home for 10 months. But we are sending them back to school next week. So that'll be
a party.
I'm ready. Well, what I've learned throughout all of this, as I became, a virtual school mom, a homeschool mom, is that I really enjoy my work and I need to have space in my
I really enjoy my kids going to school.
Yes. I'm like, I really love what I do. And as much as I love my boys, doing laundry does not bring me joy. So I have to have time in my day to create, to connect, to coach, to train. And I know that that was confirmed to me this year.
How old are your kids?
4th grade and 1st.
Oh, God bless you. God bless you.
We always said, thank goodness, Angel and I both, our kids are older, because we've seen
been an adventure
of them, but thank God. I was like, I would go crazy if all 3 of my kids were home and
all day.
Gone. I would not be able to do what I'm doing.
Yes. And so I really have had to pivot a bit. Obviously, I do events and travel and things. And so a lot of my events have turned virtual. And with Zoom, you can do a lot of really cool things, or we can do breakout sessions, so I can still do deep work with people and give them the space to talk and to challenge themselves, but still do it in a virtual setting. So workshops, masterminds, things like that have just pivoted to online.
Yeah, we've done, obviously, right, changed a whole lot of, the way we've done everything this whole year. It has for everybody. And it's really been kind of a blessing to discover, what do we really want to do? What do we really love doing? And what do, getting to design this new paradigm shift. And I think that 21, the deck is stacked in our favor as entrepreneurs. Kind of leveraged 2020, worked with whatever we had, right? In a bedroom, right? Somebody's friend's back room. We've had people come to us
in a pantry
because her baby was napping and she didn't want to disturb him. Right? We ran, right? We're like, okay, all right, I will piece up this,
whatever it takes, put the lamp behind your computer to get you light, and putting paper back green screens on your back because all the green screens were completely sold out.
But 21, I think, we kind of got our grit, right? Figured out what we were made of and what's really valuable and important to us. And, my husband keeps kind of counting down there's 5 days left in the year. There's this many days. And it's a fresh slate. I think this is one of those times where if COVID couldn't stop us, right? It didn't shut us down. It just kind of gave us a new way, right? A shift in how we approach things. And watch out. I think we are just so poised. So Carol, for like, what are you working on? Like, what exciting project is coming up that you're most excited about?
Well, the book tour, number one, our book tour has started. We're going to have a big summit in January. I'm blessed to be co-authoring a book called Women Who Boss Up in Health, Wealth, and Lifestyle with 15 other amazing women. So that's big for me in January. And I'm also working on putting together my first online courses. And a big piece of my business plan for 2020 that didn't come to full fruition is corporate speaking engagements. I love speaking and teaching in corporate America. I was very blessed last year to be hired by American Express 6 times to come in and do deep dive work. So that's something I'm working on, connecting with people to grow, that I'm excited about for this year.
I love it. I love it. How about you, Denise?
I have a 4-part workshop coming up in January that I'm really excited about. And I feel like a lot of us, at least for me, like, I went into pause mode a little bit, like, all right, what's happening? I had to, like, figure out my surroundings, and we need a restart. We need a bit more energy. We need focus. And so the workshop that I'm planning is going to help those who need a kick in the butt. We're going to do some life purpose work, as well as really breaking through limiting beliefs, self-sabotage, the things that we say we want, but we never do. We're going to really work through and get it on the calendar to create a game plan that people can really stick with. And so that's what I'm excited about. I'm preparing for it right now. I'm working on my workbook and getting ready to help kick people back into action and really designing a life that they love and not allowing the external stuff to dictate their day or their attitude.
Denise, I remember listening to you, watching you on Taylor's She Network. Taylor is a good friend of ours and one of our clients as well. Angel, that's how I met Denise. But Denise, you were talking about the steps that people need to take in order to accomplish those goals. Can you tell us a little bit about those steps?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like whenever we're stuck or we're just in transition, we need to align our dream life pathway. And that dream life pathway is what I call the head, heart, feet approach to our dreams. And if you feel stuck or things aren't moving or you're like wishy-washy, then oftentimes that dream life pathway is not in alignment. So head refers to your mindset. What do you really want? Are you focusing on what you want? Are you speaking what you want? Do you have clarity in your vision? Because confusion, like we want to set our internal GPS, right? And if you're confused about where you're going, then you're going to go nowhere. That's where that spinning action comes in. Heart is all about that emotional connection to what it is you truly want. This is your life purpose work. This is even just forgiveness and letting go of the things that are holding us back, because we cannot create 3 steps ahead if we're emotionally 3 steps behind. So we do a lot of work, healing work here. And then feet is all about action. And that could be time management, that can be skill building, that can be accountability, support, actually doing the things you say you want to do and putting it on your calendar. And so I find that if you're out of alignment in one of those ways, head, heart, or feet, then it's not going to work. And so we want to help you get in alignment by gain clarity, emotionally connect, and create your plan.
Denise, what do you do every year that like kind of makes you reset yourself? Like, okay, I'm done with 2020, 2021 is here. What do you do? Do you like do a vision board? Do you write down your manifesto? Like, what are the things that you do to like get yourself reset for the new year?
Yeah, good question. I just created the Dream Life yearly review worksheet that I sent out to all my clients because we have to do a little bit of refocusing. So take a look back, what worked, what didn't work.
Kind of
really
like
reflect.
A plan, do, review. You got a plan, but you got to review what didn't happen, what worked good.
Yeah, what did I like? What should I do again? What maybe didn't work out so well that I need to flip around a bit? So we want to reflect, we want to close any loose ends, and then ask ourselves, what is it that we want next? And so one thing I teach is to take the 7 areas of life, which is friendship, family, finances, health, hobbies, business, and giving back. And
Oh,
spend time here.
Hold on.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I can't write that fast. Slow your roll, lady. Okay, friends, family.
The
Finances.
7 F's are friends, family,
finances, health, hobbies, business, and giving back.
So my husband and I, we do every year our goals, and we have 4 categories. So you had 7. So I was like, "Ooh, what are her extra categories that I might be missing out on?"
Friends, family, finances, faith, and there was like another one, the 5 F's.
Yeah, we do family, finances, fitness. So that's kind of the health one, and faith.
That's what the last.
I was gonna say the last one could be fun.
Right.
Oh,
and I think we bundle. Yeah, I mean, we bundle different things, right? Because my family time is in, like, you put different things in. But I wanted to hear your list. I'm like, oh, she's got some extra stuff in there. But I love the assessment of, so often we just like keep plowing forward, right? Going forward, taking the next steps and doing what's next. But there's real value in pausing and stepping back and assessing, like, what is working and what are some things that really, and I think we've been talking about this all week, is what do I need to let go of, right? It's almost like more of our challenge isn't so much what do we need to do and what do we need to go get. But in fact, last night they were telling this story about.
I was just going to tell you, I think we should tell that monkey story, because that really like put that vision into your head.
Oh my gosh, it totally did. And maybe you guys have heard it. But it was about these researchers, studying monkeys, and they would put like a treat for the monkeys inside of like a space where they could get their hand in, but once they grabbed the treat, they couldn't get out. Right? They'd have to let go of the treat in order to get their hand back out. And then just out of reach was like a buffet, right? Like, a huge buffet. So if they would just let go of what was good, right, then something even better was just out of reach, but they had to let go of the thing that they were holding on to in order to get
comfortable with.
Right. And it was just this analogy that how often are we holding on to something that's, it doesn't even mean it's bad, right? Like, but it's just not serving us. And maybe it's an old habit or something we're familiar with.
Something that we're comfortable with. It's something that we're not ready to let go of.
And and so then last night I was looking for a graphic, and I put in the word monkey fist in Canva, and there's actually these little rope things are called monkey fists, but they're used for like self-defense and
your little graphic yesterday that you put up, I was like, she's so smart. She took all of our goals and put them into one.
I just put them into one little Canva graphic, but it's letting go and taking that assessment to I think that's sometimes the hardest thing. And we had a moment last night, and Carol, I think you got to hear a little bit. We're all crying, right, of all the journeys and the things that we've accomplished this year, and the successes that we've had. But truly, it is realizing that COVID really allowed us to let go of a lot of things that weren't really serving us.
Yeah. And it allowed us to connect to people that we would normally not connect with. And that was a lot of the talk last night is connection, because we all need that connection. We all need, and I think especially women, we all need those other women who say, you know what, I've been there. That we have those nights that we're crying and we're saying, this is never going to happen. And having those self-doubt, and you don't want to say that you do that, but you do. There's always those women who say, I've been there, listen, pull your big girl panties up and let's go. But we allow one another to say that and to go through those emotions. And everybody was saying last night how we all needed to be connected. And I think this year is all about that connection, the connect. And I'm so glad that back in March that we named our virtual summit the Connect virtual summit because we knew that we needed to stay connected. We knew we needed to stay connected to the people that we're talking to. Us speakers needed to stay connected to one another. We needed to be in front of people. We needed those people to be in front of us, but we needed to stay connected. And I think that is like such a powerful word because we all need that connection, that feeling of trust and relatability and all of that good stuff. So I love the way that you said all of your 7 things: reflect and refocus and review. I love that.
Yeah, connected become our theme for the year. Do you guys do the thing where you pick a word for the year that you kind of like focus on? Denise, is that something you do?
Yeah, I was gonna say, so at the end, when I review and I say what worked, what didn't work, and then you have to ask yourself, all right, well, what do I really want next? And then that's when I take the 7 areas and say, in my ideal dream life, like if I were to rate it a 10, what would this area of life look like? And I really try to be creative and allow those things to bubble up. And then at the end of the process, my strategy is to pick one word that encompasses that next step, whatever that looks like. And so this last year, my word was faith, which seems appropriate. Yep. And this year, my word is courage, because I think there's a lot of dreams that I'm bubbling, that are brewing inside that I'm
2021, your word is going to be courage?
Yeah. Yep. That's what I've brewed. Yeah. It's just about really being bold and not shrinking back, but really taking those dreams and those desires and boldly like launching them, boldly going after it, rather than tiptoeing sometimes.
Carol, do you have a word that you do?
My word for 2021 is elevation.
Mm.
It's elevation in all areas of life. And on my Facebook page, I say, welcome to Carol's Courage to Confidence Corner. Mm-hmm. It's one of the things, like Denise said, that I work on with all of my clients. As a matter of fact, I got a text the other day from a young man who said that he would never get out of his comfort zone, but after working with me, he now knows he's never stuck. And that he's willing to try anything. And part of that is because he adapted what I say is the most powerful of all. I'm known as the queen of reframe. You can bring me just about any challenge and I can reframe it for you in less than 20 minutes, give you a strategic action plan and some homework and send you on your way, right? And this man had some big challenges when he hired me. And he said that he was stuck. He didn't have any confidence. And he said, now I have more confidence than I ever have, but I keep that most powerful of all empowering questions in front of me. And the question is, what else is possible? And the caveat is that you're not to try to figure out the answer. Right? You can't read a label when you're inside a jar, and we're all in a jar. But we have all these opportunities sitting right here that we can't see because they don't look like what we think they should look like. Mm-hmm. So when I teach on empowering questions, as well as in corporate America last year, it's about learning that the caveat is you cannot be attached to the outcome. You're telling God and or the universe, whatever your belief system is that you're willing to see something, hear something, say something, or do something that you've never thought of before. And it is amazing that I'm so blessed that I get to see transformations that blow my mind using empowering questions with my clients.
One of the things, Carol, when you talk about not being attached to the outcome, and is it we can't really picture ourselves any place different than we've been. Like we try to, right? But our old patterns and old things kind of show up. So we only can imagine based on kind of our given circumstance. But other people who have a different experience and bring something new to the table can often see something inside of us or a path for us that we didn't even know existed, right? Like, I'm thinking of, there was a gal and she's like, I didn't even know this world existed, right? This whole speaking and I didn't even know it even existed until she was introduced to it, and allowing others to pour into her, right? We've all, I think, had times where we've allowed others to pour into us and see something in ourselves, but it helps us to reframe and trust that somebody else, like it's that faith piece of trusting that somebody else sees something in us and having the courage to walk through, I don't know, based on something we can't even imagine. I know I just rattled like this whole random thing.
No, I mean, you're really onto something, because we are like that. We are that resilient people. And we have all of our people telling us what their word for 2021 is going to be. We have resilience, courage, courageous. Mine is intentional, to be intentional with everything that I'm doing, with my money, with my finances, with my business, with my coaching, with my speaking, with my books, and just to be intentional with everything, my giving. And I think, Angel, you found your word, right?
Obsessed.
Obsessed. Well, our phrase that we adopted about 6 months ago with one of our guests came on, she said to become obsessed with what you want. And so, we just kept saying that, become obsessed with what you want. And so I sent Angel a water bottle that says, become obsessed with what you want. And because when you become obsessed with what you want, it comes into fruition. Become obsessed with that dream house, become obsessed with your business, become obsessed with writing that new book, become obsessed with making that $10,000 a month. Become obsessed with whatever it is that you want right now, and it'll come. And Angel has been obsessed for the last 4 months.
Well, the challenge in that also is that you get very attached to the outcome about what it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
so how do you not?
Yeah.
Well, number one, it's about trusting in the process. Number two, you said it earlier, sometimes you have to trust in someone else's vision for you until you can believe it for yourself, right? And that's how you step out. But for example, a couple of years ago, I knew I was going to speak 3 times in November at the Tower Club, Fort Lauderdale. Now, I know the Tower Club, they have a podium and they have a handheld mic, and I am not a podium girl. I move into my audience, and I don't like a handheld mic. So I went to the Tower Club and I asked them, well, what else is possible? And the lady says, that's how we've done it for 70 years, Carol. And I said, yeah, but what else is possible? So I asked her this about 5 or 6 times, not tied to the outcome. And she's like, I don't know, I'll go ask. A week later, for the first time in 70 years, I was testing a lavalier mic. They had never had a lavalier mic. Now, had I gone in there, attached to the outcome and said, I have to have a headset mic, I might not have gotten an answer.
Yeah.
I wasn't attached to the outcome. I just knew I wanted a solution that didn't force me behind a podium or force me to hold a handheld mic. And one of the stories I tell behind What Else is Possible is about a man who died and he went to heaven. And he's walking down this long hallway with St. Peter. And on either side, there's doors with people's names above them. And he's excited to be in heaven. And he keeps saying, St. Peter, do I have a door? Do I have a door? St. Peter kind of looked at him and said, keep walking. So he's getting a little nervous. It's a long hallway. They get to the end, and there is his door with his name above it. And St. Peter flings open the door, and the man is aghast. The room is cavernous, and it is filled with packages and boxes and bags of all sizes and shapes and colors, floor to ceiling. And he looks at St. Peter and goes, what is all that? St. Peter said, oh, those are all the gifts that God had to give you while you were on earth that you never received because they didn't look like what you thought they should look like. So it's about being open to how something shows up. Does that make sense?
Angel, are you okay?
Well, okay, so my brain is like, okay, where do I file this information? Like, where do I put this, and how do I okay, so especially right now, as we're all getting ready to plan our 21, right? We're writing down our goals, we're creating a vision, we're putting steps into place of it's about the outcome, right? I always start with what the outcome is.
I think most people do, though.
Yeah, like, this is where I'm going.
What do you want out of life? Well, I want this. Okay, so now work backwards.
Right? Yeah.
But what if you added to that? What if you said, this is the outcome I want? Let's say it's $1 million. And we create as we speak, right? We're very powerful. We create as we speak. And you said, I'm going to make $1 million or something even greater. So you've opened the door for something else to show up.
Okay.
Right. And so when you're working on crafting your language, it's about, you said it's about we often hold on so tightly to what we think is ours, right? It's our plan, it's our business plan, it's our steps, that our hands are never open to receive all.
And then there's so many ways to make $1 million, right? There's not just one way to make $1 million. So there's several ways to make $1 million.
What if you didn't have to make it at all and it came in the lottery? I mean, there's a lot of ways that we don't open our mind to. I told a client of mine one time, I don't care if you win $10 million in the lottery.
So,
She's like,
Carol. Okay, so you now have your lavalier mic, right? First time in 70 years. So this year, right? As we're going into 21, like, what are some things that you're looking forward to, that you're creating, that you're, I don't know, not attached to the obstacle? I need another example.
Okay. First, I would tell you I sold my house July 30th of last year. 26 years, I thought I was going to live there forever. And I would have told you, I love stability. I love routine. I did not think I was flexible. And God saw fit for me to move 6 times in 9 months. Wow. 6 times while trying to grow a business. Its story's way too long for here. So one of the things that really hit me is that a year before that, I had done my very first 90-minute workshop at Kaiser University. And the title was Navigating a Successful Course in the Winds of Change. And it was prophetic, because then that's what I drew into my life. I mean, I want you to think about this. We create as we speak, right? So I am creating by my language, success beyond anything I can dream of in all areas of my life. Every day I get up and I say, this is page 1 in my new 365-page book. What am I going to write today? Ooh. Right? Ooh, so when we understand that there's power in choice, and when we own that we're choosing, only when we own that we're choosing, can we then choose something differently.
Well, with that, we have to go to commercial. We have Denise Walsh and Carol Boston in the house today. This is the Angel and Tina Morning Show, and we will be right back after these commercial.
After these little commercial breaks.
Commercial break.
Right? Can you see the
yes,
graphic?
We can see it.
Fabulous. Well, this is a fascinating conversation, and I think the timing is obviously perfect to have Carol and Denise here as we're closing out this year, where most of us are getting ready to make our plan for next year. I think just to have you ladies on the show this morning, we're super grateful for you. You are what make the morning show so special. But we are also sponsored by some fabulous sponsors that we want to just take a moment to recognize and say thank you to. We have Zandra TV Network. We are digitally and streaming on all the on-demand channels: Apple TV, Roku, Fire TV, Chromecast. There's actually several more, but all the logos didn't all fit on our little graphic. But if you've ever thought about hosting your own TV show, you can go to their website, beonztv.com. That's beonztv.com, and schedule a discovery call. If you've got content, you're using YouTube, you've got a podcast, maybe it's time to start your own TV show. And the ZTV network is actually the forerunner in helping producers put out content. They have an incredible producer incubator to help you learn how to launch your own TV show, and then help you to produce it and train you through the entire process. Bliss by the Lake Boutique is our clothing sponsor. You can follow them online on their social media sites, where they get fresh new inventory every single week, and they do fashion shows, put together some incredible outfits, but you've got to jump on them because they sell out fast. So follow them at Bliss by the Lake Boutique. And then Sonic VA. Sonic VA hires. Actually, they're transforming into a new video assistant service. They've been doing virtual assistant, which they are dynamite at, but they're adding, starting in January, a new video assistant service. So if you create videos and you want them edited, so you're going to be on YouTube, you're going to have your own TV show, you want professional editing, don't do that yourself, hire it out with Sonic VA, SONICVA.com. Those are our sponsors. This is the morning show. We do want to remind everybody that tomorrow is our 200th episode of the Angel and Tina Morning Show. We are hosting the ANT Awards. We've got all the certificates are already.
Oh my goodness. And let me tell you, these certificates, we probably have over 100 awards to give out from all the nominees that have been coming in. For all of our past guests, over 400 guests this year have been on the Angel and Tina Morning Show, and over 100 people are going to get awarded tomorrow. I am so excited.
That's awesome.
I'm so excited for you. And it's Tina's birthday, and she is launching her second book. So her first book came out March 17th, the day the world shut down this year. It is a hot new release. It was a #1 bestseller. And at a time where we thought, how are we going to launch a book? We don't have live events. Everything's shutting down. and her book, her first book, The Gratitude Journal, has sold over 1,000 copies. And now within the year, she is launching and publishing her second book. Tina has spoke on over 100 stages and platforms and podcasts and been featured in media, thousands of media news decks. She's an award-winning host of the Angel and Tina Morning Show. She is an absolute rock star. And Tina, I can't wait to celebrate with you tomorrow.
I can't wait. That just made me almost want to cry.
I know. From the girl who called me crying, going, I got nothing. And then look at what.
Listen, in Tampa, on my way to San Diego on a photo shoot, I called her going, oh my gosh, like 11 of my 18 speaking engagements just got canceled. What the heck are we going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we pivoted, we connected, and
we pivoted very fast.
somehow we've I don't know, we've had the best worst year, right? Out of all of this.
And we have launched over 100 books on the Angel and Tina Morning Show. Like, I am just like blown away what God has done for this and for both of our businesses, because we were able to create packages to help authors and new brand releases to release their books and hit #1 bestseller status. We've been able to help authors launch their books, and we were their Good Morning America. It's just like one thing after another. So we are so blessed to have you guys all watching, so blessed to have you guys all on our show every single day, Monday through Friday. Oh my goodness. And the two fabulous guests that we have here today.
Right, so Denise, all right, I know tell us a little bit more about this program that's starting up in January. Who's it for? How can we register?
Yeah, because I'm ready to look, I have my pen like ready.
Oh, I'm super excited about it. So really, it's for anybody who's in that transition time, that pivot, when they're asking themselves, I don't really like where I am, but I don't quite know what to do. And I know that when I'm in that transition period, when I was working my corporate job and moving into entrepreneurship, I stayed there for years because I didn't know how to take that step and what that really looked like. And so it's for anybody that needs that kick in the butt, right? We need that kick in the butt. We need to figure out, what do we really want? We need to maybe heal or release from some of the things that are holding us back. I mean, you said obsessed with what it is that you want. We can't always be 100% ready for that next step until we heal from the past. And so we're going to do some forgiveness stuff. We're going to do some breaking through limiting beliefs and rewriting our story, all of that, life purpose. And then we're going to say, all right, let's put pen to paper and create that action plan. And so I can get you the link to sign. Let me see if I can. It's dreamworkbook.com. dreamworkbook.com/WKSHP for workshop. WKSHP. dreamworkbook.com/WKSHP. And I'll send you that. But I know if you are ready to step out of 2020, out of any funk, out of any, I don't know what to do with my life, join this workshop, because by the end of it, you'll have energy, you'll have clarity, and you'll have a plan.
Oh, I love that.
You'll have energy, you'll have clarity, and you'll have a plan. I love it.
Amen. Don't we all need that?
Yes. Like, how many of us need at least just one of those things? Oh, goodness. All right, Carol, what about you? How can people get a hold of you, and what do you have coming up in the near future here?
All of my social media is at The Carol Boston. That's LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, everything. And I have started creating a new group. I did a summit back in June and July called Year with No Fear. 21 top entrepreneurs from across the globe came and shared tools, tips, strategies, and tactics on how. So I've carried that forward into my new Facebook group, Year with No Fear. Come join us. And we're going to start teaching you and talking about how to go from courage to confidence, because one of the things I help my clients with is that confidence is not a feeling, right? Confidence is a decision to act. And so you've got to have that courage first to get there. So you'll not only get wisdom and things I'm going to share in the group, but you're going to be getting golden nuggets. I've been pulling 1-minute clips from every one of these 30 interviews from these amazing entrepreneurs across the globe. So come join us, Year with No Fear. And if you're interested in speaking to me about working one-on-one and getting some of the results that my clients are getting, private message me, or you can email me. carol@carolboston.com. Very simple.
Very simple. I love it. Year with no fear.
Yes.
And it is, and you talked about this too, Denise. It's just some of the things that are just holding us back, and things that we don't even realize how our language. One of my business coaches, he always said the quality of your language dictates the quality of your life. And elevating your language and opening up, sometimes just the words that we say. In fact, Tina and I were looking up her book this morning, and I was looking up some books on Amazon, and there was a book on gratitude, but it was an absolute oxymoron of, like
it was like
it's crass,
10
but
bad words in it, and the badass woman's guide to gratitude, and I'm like,
oh, but
no,
no,
like
it's
an oxymoron.
it was just like, it sucks, but we're grateful for it, and I'm like, are you really? But elevating our language, elevating who we're hanging out with and associating with. And so I love the group, and the fact that confidence, right? It's a decision to take action, and take action, make a decision, tweak it as you go. Doesn't have to, we get so stuck in analysis paralysis, right? Paralyzed by analyzing, right?
Yeah.
And so let's just, make some decisions, tweak it as you go, and design what it is that you're looking for.
One of the things that you've always taught everybody, and you taught me all year long, is done is better than none. Just do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, my book, there's probably 10 little things in there that I'm like, but it doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, who was it that said to make sure that there are errors in your book, so then that way people can comment and say there's errors in your book?
I didn't say make sure that there are errors in your book.
No, I mean, somebody did say that, like, to make sure that there's kind of like a couple errors in there. Somebody said that earlier this year.
Oh, that's funny. I think that, people will find something. Like, there are just people out there that are, like you said, Carol, the one guy talked about your background. Like, there's always something, and people will find, but it's okay. Don't worry about it. Right. It was, I think it was Robert Kiyosaki. Somebody was criticizing him, and he's like, I'm not the best writing author, I'm the best selling author. And, so let's keep our eye on the prize and not get focused on and distracted by, some of the nuances.
Yeah.
Go out and stay true. Like, you do you, right? You do you. You're the best you that there is. Well, Denise, final words or final thoughts you'd want to share with our audience today?
Well, I just know that, like, it's time. We're ready. And I know for me, this year's thrown me for a loop. I've had to use my own skills on myself to be like, all right, what do we really want? Let's prioritize. Let's reshift. But the reality is that the truth never changes. And those dreams that bubble up for you are going to continue to bubble up until you take full action on them. So it's time to, as Carol said, take that confident step and just do it. But I know that if it were easy, you probably already would be. So get some support because we all are doing this together.
And I love that. You do need that support. You do need that encouragement to take a leap of faith. And sometimes it's just reaching out to somebody. It's reaching out to that one person, hey, can I ask you a question? Is there any way you can talk to me for 15 minutes?
I have a book and 2 journals and a program and all these things to my mastermind. If it weren't for the community to say, did you do what you said you wanted to do? And tell me what's next, then it would be very easy for those dreams to lay dormant, or for me to second guess them or self-doubt them. And that community really helped me to elevate and actually execute.
Oh, I need to get your journals.
They're so fun.
Well, that's one of the things about being an entrepreneur, right? Is personal accountability is very difficult. And that's why I think everybody needs a coach. I mean, at one time, Oprah had 4 coaches, and someone said, why do you have 4 coaches? And she said, because no one is an expert in all 4 quadrants of my life. And I want to know that I'm living my entire life at its highest level. And so the other thing I was thinking of is that a mentor of mine many years ago, he wrote the book, Keys to the Vault, Keith Cunningham, an amazing man. And it talks about what you said, Denise, about stepping into action. He said, anything worth doing is worth doing poorly the first time. And then you learn. But often what I find, and I'm all about raising up lioness leaders. I love not only helping women have a seat at the table, but having a voice. But one of the things I've learned is that often when we fear other people's judgments, it's because we're judging ourselves. And it's a reflection back to us that we don't want to look at. We're the ones that are critiquing us. And honestly, other people's opinions and judgments of us are none of our business, right? Because they're not about us. They're about them.
Yeah.
So one of the key, the last thought I would leave to go into 2021 is something I help my clients with, and then we redefine the word success. Being in sales in corporate America for 27 years, we'll celebrate when you get your annual quota, Carol. I'm like, no, that is too far away, right? So my clients learn that success is in the attempt, but it's in the attempt without judgment. We make the attempt and we say, that worked great or that didn't work. What can we do to make a mid-course correction? And we celebrate the fact that we made the attempt because the universe honors what we celebrate. So the more you're celebrating what you want, the more you're going to get to celebrate coming in 2021.
I believe that. Celebrate every milestone. Yeah, all along the way. And as entrepreneurs, and we just check things off and like next, right? Like, okay, I did that. I published a book. I created a course. I did. And we just are like always going to the next thing. But yeah, celebrate every milestone. Celebrate every success. Well, you ladies have been an absolute joy to have with us this morning. You are welcome to come back and join us tomorrow on our 200th episode of the Angel and Tina Morning Show. We'd love to have you back. It's just going to be a big party, a big celebration, of course, celebrating Tina's book and her birthday. But also
important, the A&T Awards.
And the A&T Awards. But make sure that you go and put those links in the comments below so that you interact, because we've got an audience that is excited about what you had to share this morning.
How do you get Denise's stuff? And, how do I get in contact with Carol? So yeah, definitely go in Facebook and put your links in and how people can get a hold of you and answer any questions that they have. But oh my God, Angel, I am so excited about tomorrow. Like so excited. But you are a little bit dressed up today.
I know.
How come you're dressed up today and not tomorrow?
Yeah, so I am actually
so
I know I never wear earrings, I never wear jewelry. I come here in my yoga pants and t-shirt, and Tina's so
today
glamorous.
She has a dress on.
I do have a dress on. I'm going to a luncheon in Tampa, which is over an hour and 15 minutes away. And but it's the Power Team luncheon with Bill Walsh and his team is here. So they're I guess they're close-ish, right, to where I'm at. So we'll be heading out over there and spending the afternoon. It's my first business event I did one in September, which was really odd and weird. Like it was just so awkward and masks and all of that. So I have no idea what today is going to be like, but I'm venturing out.
And your Hetty's going with you, so that's good.
Yeah, but it'll be fun. But I'm super excited. I'm just super excited to be celebrating all of these successes. And Carol, give your contact information one more time.
All my social media is at the Carol Boston. My Facebook group is Year with No Fear. And my email is carol@carolboston.com. Look forward to hearing from you.
I'm so happy we connected and to have you here on the show. I know we've got some common friends in common. And I know you were just chatting with Beverly this morning. And so it's really a treat. And I'd love to have you do a little feature on our Entrepreneurs of Reinvention. I think you've got a great story that we could share there as well. All right, Denise, one more time, your call to action. How do we get in touch with you?
All right, I am at the Denise Walsh on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. And then I'll put the link to the workshop below, but my books are all on Amazon, and then denisewalsh.com is my website.
And it was dreamworkbook.com/workshop, but only the consonants, WKSHP, right?
Yes.
I love it. Dreamworkbook.com. Make sure you guys download that and get involved, and let's just make this even more, right? Like I'm gonna struggle with that one for a minute, Carol, about that not being attached to the outcome. It's just different than.
Well, reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. I'll help you clarify it.
Love that. I'm like, I'm always about the outcome. Like that's like I got my marker. I know exactly where I'm going, and I'm like head down and that's where I'm headed. So this was a fascinating conversation. Well, I'm Angel Tuccy. I am your media matchmaker. If you've got news, alert the press. It's so much of what we do as entrepreneurs. We share on social media. We might share with our closest followers, but you could create a whole entire PR campaign around your new book, your new business, your new course. I see great news being shared all the time on social media, and you're missing out on a great opportunity for even more PR exposure. I'd love to help you get started with a complimentary guide. It'll give you 52 ideas for your next press release and a template for how to write that next press release. You can grab that at makeyourbigimpact.com. That's makeyourbigimpact.com. And make sure you guys tune in and come back and join us here tomorrow as we celebrate this amazing year that we've had together, over 400 guests in our 200th episode. But more than that, we just want to celebrate you, our audience, our friends, those that we've connected with. And we're just going to do it in a really big and fabulous way. At 11 a.m. It's a special 2-hour broadcast of the Angel and Tina Morning Show right here, right where you expect us.
Right here, right now, tomorrow. I am Tina Torres, the client retention expert, otherwise known as the gratitude specialist. And if you're struggling with attracting the right clients, knowing how to connect to them, or even if you just don't know how to convert them into clients, I have a complimentary guide that'll help you grow your audience organically, online and offline, connect and nurture those relationships authentically, and then learn how to take those relationships and turn them into paying clients. You can grab that guide if you text the word connection to 26786. That is the word connection to 26786. We are Angel and Tina on the Angel and Tina Morning Show, where we come to you live every weekday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. We will see you guys tomorrow for our A&T Awards, celebrating you, 200 episodes, and my birthday, and the launch of Beyond Gratitude Journal that you can buy tomorrow. Tomorrow, it is available. Beyond Gratitude, strategies to attract, connect, and convert more prospects. We will see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. Remember, it is a 2-hour special. And if you have been nominated, remember, you will get a Zoom link shortly in the next hour or so to come tomorrow. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Bye.